Go ahead. Spew your random content from social media. Go ahead.
All right. I got into an argument with this guy about this anyways. Look, he's got a blue check next to his name. He must be legit.
Oh,
anyways.
yes. He must know what he's talking about. Yes.
Okay. Here are his top 5
Literally,
receivers.
if I had a nickel, this is literal. If I had a nickel for every know-nothing draftnik with a blue check mark next to his name, well, I'd have a couple bucks at least.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a lot. But, all right. Here's his top 5 receivers. The guy that I have at number 3 that I want to talk about is not in this list, and I am surprised. Number 1, Corey Davis. Number 2, Mike Williams.
Correct.
Number 3, John Ross.
Oh, God.
Number 4, Cooper Kupp.
What?
Number 5, Chad Hansen. You know who's not in there, Matt?
Who's Chad Hansen?
Juju Smith.
Should I know who Chad Hansen is?
Cal. You should.
Is he good?
Yeah, he's pretty good. But he's going to be like a third-round receiver. He's a Senior Bowl guy that's been killing it.
I don't pay attention to the Senior Bowl nonsense noise cloud.
Okay, well, don't sweat it. It's not worth it. However, I want to talk about Juju Smith, Matt. I have Juju Smith as the wide receiver 2, wide receiver 3 in this class.
What, wide receiver 2? What do you mean?
That's right. Wide receiver 2, wide receiver 3, because
What does that mean?
I love Juju Smith. I had him last year as my wide receiver.
Is he the wide
1.
receiver 2 or wide receiver 3?
The
what are
words
you
of
doing on this show? We're here to lay out our opinions with conviction. We're here to rank players. We're not here to make wishy-washy, mealy-mouthed statements and non-ranks like my wide receiver 2-3. You know what? I have Corey Davis as my wide receiver 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Is that good content, Nate?
Yeah, it's pretty funny. It made me chuckle. Here's the thing, though, Matt. I had Juju Smith as my number 1 receiver in that class. Well, in the draft class is not a part of it, but in that group of receivers last year, I loved Juju Smith. He was my number 1, and for good reason. If you looked at his production as a sophomore, 89 catches, 1,454 yards, 16.3 yards per reception, 10 touchdowns. He was dominant. And again, we were talking about this earlier off the air. He's barely over 20 years old, so he was 19 when he did that. His breakout age is middle of his 18-year-old age, 93rd percentile on playerprofiler.com. So Juju Smith definitely has the breakout age working in his favor. Here's the question, though, Matt. After his 2015 season when he posted such monster numbers, when you've looked at what he did in 2016, where did he end up in your ranks?
He's clearly the number 3 receiver in this class. There's no debating this. Sorry, Jason Braddock, you don't know what you're talking about if you don't have Juju Smith-Schuster as your number 3 receiver. The top 3 wide receiver ranking is crystallized for this class. It's Corey Davis, number 1, it's Mike Williams, number 2, and it's Juju Smith-Schuster, number 3. That's what it is, and there is no debate. And if you think it's any other order other than that exact order, you're wrong. But there's no arguing that Juju Smith-Schuster is somehow better than Mike Williams. Absolutely not. We learned our lesson with Jordan Matthews. Jordan Matthews vastly outproduced Odell Beckham Jr. in the SEC. But Jordan Matthews did it at Vanderbilt, while Odell Beckham Jr. posted a lesser dominator while sharing a field with Jarvis Landry. It's more impressive when you post big numbers from a major conference school that's always in the national championship conversation. That's Mike Williams. Mike Williams is an alpha dog. Mike Williams is going to get drafted in the first 15 picks. Scouts love Mike Williams. They don't love Juju Smith-Schuster. That all matters. I'm not chasing Jordan Matthews in the second round when the scouts have said Odell Beckham Jr. is significantly better and teams are looking to draft him in the first 15 picks. I'm done dying on the Jordan Matthews hill. I'm no longer pushing players that are drafted in the second round above players drafted as one of the first selections in the draft. Not ever, not again. I'm never again going to have a Jordan Matthews ranked ahead of an Odell Beckham Jr., and I'm never going to have Juju Smith-Schuster ranked ahead of Mike Williams for that particular reason. But no other wide receiver in this class other than Corey Davis and Mike Williams has the pedigree and the resume that Juju Smith-Schuster does, particularly that sophomore season, just like Mike Williams. Incredible sophomore season for Juju Smith-Schuster. Early in his age 19 season, 89 receptions, almost 1,500 yards, 10 touchdowns in the Pac-12. Oh, God! Pinch me. When you look at age-adjusted production, no one in this class other than Corey Davis is as impressive as Juju Smith-Schuster. Didn't we learn our lesson last year with Tajay Sharp? Tajay Sharp is an impressive wide receiver, and he should have been drafted rounds earlier than he was. Why? Because he was dominant at an early age at UMass. Juju Smith-Schuster was dominant at an early age at USC, and that will override all the red flags that anyone wants to throw up on Juju Smith-Schuster. I don't care if he runs slow. I don't care if he doesn't jump high. He could have Anquan Boldin level athleticism, but the nice thing is he posted Anquan level statistics as a sophomore, so why can't he just be the next Anquan Boldin? And if you draft the next Anquan Boldin in your rookie draft, you should be happy about that.
I think that there's that USC narrative too. Okay, Nelson Aguilar.
Don't give it. No. I'm sorry. No. I refuse it. The moment you set foot on the campus, you're poisoned and you're destined to be a failure at the NFL level. You're predisposed to NFL failure because you wore a maroon jersey because your campus happened to be located in the southern part of Los Angeles. What are we talking about here? That is the most superficial, superstitious, gibberish argument against a player that for some reason the school that he played football at is not a school that produces quality players at a particular position. That is a false narrative. It is superstitious horseshit. And anyone that provides that argument needs to be laughed off the stage.
I do own some shares of Nelson Aguilar, but
they're different people.
Juju Smith.
They just went to the same school. Who cares? Didn't Pete Carroll go to USC?
Of course. Wait.
So do the coaches? Is the next coach at USC destined to be a Super Bowl champion just because Pete Carroll was a former head coach there? The logic ladder on this argument that players that played a particular position at a particular school are incapable of manifest destiny is absurd.
I just want you to know that I'm not the one that's pushing the USC narrative. I'm just bringing it up because I think it's ridiculous. I've heard it so many times.
It's not just ridiculous. It's superstitious propaganda, and anyone that believes it is a complete and utter fool.
Okay, well, I'm going to get into some of the scouting information on Juju Smith. I don't want to talk about the USC thing anymore.
That type of analysis makes us all dumber. That's why I object to it so vehemently. I object to the analysis that isn't just irrelevant anecdotal observation. It's analysis that's soaked in superstition and makes us all dumber. That's what I strongly object to.
So call me crazy, but when I watch Juju Smith with the ball in his hands, he reminds me of Dez Bryant. Oh, and I know we're always comping,
so
guys.
Now Juju Smith-Schuster is some combination of Anquan Boldin and Dez Bryant. Why can't we do show prep right and get our stories straight about which elite players we're going to best case scenario comp these prospects to?
You said he had Anquan Boldin-like production. I'm saying physically the way he plays, he reminds me of Dez Bryant. And here's why. He's not afraid of contact, and he's very physical with corners, especially after the catch. Just like Dez Bryant as well, Juju Smith has that my ball mentality, and it comes in all the time when you see him competing for possessions. Juju plays inside, he plays outside, and we haven't really talked about it right now, but Juju Smith has that prototypical size.
Oh, yes.
6'2", 220.
He's not going to be 6'2". He's going to check in at 6'1" at the combine. Book it.
That's fine. He's going to give you that Ty Montgomery body type then.
No, it's a Anquan Boldin body type.
Get out of here.
What do you mean get out of here? That's what he is. He's going to be slow. He's not going to be explosive. He's going to be Anquan Boldin, and that's just fine.
I think Juju Smith is going to impress you then if you expect him to check the boxes that Anquan Boldin checked in terms of athleticism.
I'm just getting out ahead of this now. People are going to call him Laquan Treadwell because he's not going to run fast, and I'm getting way out ahead of it. He's much better than Laquan Treadwell ever was.
For sure. He's going to be a way better athlete than Laquan Treadwell was. And in terms of his abilities on the field right now, he's probably right there with what Laquan Treadwell was, because Treadwell was a good college player. The athleticism was a huge hindrance when he got to the next level. And obviously the depth chart in Minnesota and the way things break in Minnesota We watched Cordero Patterson die for years in the background because they said he was a sloppy route runner. I mean, we watch guys like Adam Thielen rise to the top in that offense. We watch Stephon Diggs, late round draft picks, rise in that offense. And I'm not saying Laquan Treadwell won't get there, but that's a system where they really expect the wide receivers to be ready to play in the National Football League. And Laquan Treadwell obviously wasn't. I don't know how many snaps he played last year, but it was far less than I would have bet you that he would have played before the season started. So back to Juju Smith, Matt. I think Juju Smith is solidly, at the absolute least, the third wide receiver in this class. And I think this is where there's
just the number 3 receiver. Just say it. Just say it. Just say Corey Davis is number 1, that's set in stone, that's concrete, that Mike Williams is number 2, that's set in stone, that's concrete, that's immovable, and that Juju Smith-Schuster is most definitely the number 3 wide receiver, no better, no worse. Just state that and we can move on to the next wide receiver.
That's fine. That's probably fair.
Say he's the number 3 wide receiver.
No.